Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. It is Markets in the Morning. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. Today is Wednesday, December 6th, 2023. This is Markets in the Morning, where we take a look at the price action at the cryptocurrency market, including the Bitcoin price chart, the altcoin market, XRP. We'll look at several different altcoins today. We take a peek over there at the stock market as the stock market gets set to open up in the next 3 minutes and have a clue on how this day is going to start off for all of us. We'll take a peek over there at precious metals and the United States dollar currency index, along with taking a look over at any financial news as we kick off the day, and of course, any type of crypto news that seems to be of importance. But it is Wednesday. It is a nice day, halfway through the week. I think we all know what Wednesday means. If you don't know, you're probably going to say, what is this nonsense? But we have Bitcoin sitting at $44,200 as we kick off this fine Wednesday. We have a couple of altcoins popping up where you see that sign of strength starting to kind of get a breakthrough there on the altcoin market caps. And we see several different coins escaping that range. So we'll take a peek over there at those things and get this a nice, fine Wednesday kicked off. Otherwise, happy middle of the week, everybody.
It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday,
Let's go. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We have a good time here on the channel. On Wednesdays, they were much more casual. If you're looking for the super serious stuff, I'm sure that exists out there. You're not going to find it here today. So happy Wednesday. We made it halfway through the week, everybody. I'm sure every week we're just kind of looking forward to the holidays kicking in here pretty soon. We only have a couple weeks left until some extended breaks. So probably by next week, I'll let you guys know what my holiday schedule is going to be like. I am going to take days off there around Christmas. So I'll keep you guys informed on what those days are going to end up being. As of right now, I'm not exactly sure. But either way, let's go ahead and start talking about markets as the stock market opens in a minute from now. Bitcoin sitting at 44,280, absolutely continuing to go. If you caught yesterday's video that I put it out late afternoon, we're talking a lot about that dynamic there with the altcoin market. We're talking about that divergence. I put out a video about a month ago. We talked a lot about that in Markets in the Morning yesterday, talking about a divergence that can occur in here. Of course, we know we've just really been in that sign of strength phase here in the altcoin market, but here in these yesterday, is that really today? Today and yesterday, you could see finally starting to get an escape there. Even today on the total altcoin market cap, finally poking above the top of that range. It was pretty funny because in that video, I pointed out that it was really exactly on this particular time period right there where that escape happened for Bitcoin to escape that one right there. That was the moment that the altcoin market did start to move and did start to do a big fat catch up there to Bitcoin. So quite interesting to see that is also today. You see that we actually do poke above the top of the range there on total 3. All right, Bitcoin, there you go, $44,200 to kick off the morning. Yep. So here we go. This is where we are right now, right? So this is that break. This is what was talked about in yesterday's video. Here's us leaving the range. Imagine this being like late October. And then here we go. This would be like yesterday's candle happening in here. Notice that the altcoin market could not leave the range until shortly after that one. And that's what that whole video was about. It's what the divergence discussions have been about for the last month. And then it was right shortly after that we started seeing the move up really start to kick in. So, all right. So there you go. Bitcoin, 44,000. Of course, all these things still here, right? We're in that April level. We know all altcoins have or at least like any of them that have gotten up here, like 90% of them have all struggled here and not been able to escape these levels in here. So as we're in here right now, and as the Bitcoiners are screaming $500,000 Bitcoin while we're in a retracement, of course, those eyes are still there, right? So for me, it's always been, hey, we're going back up, we're getting back into retracements. Now it just becomes much more of a complicated scenario as we are up in here, but we are back into retracements. So do not be misconstrued of me being like, hey, we're going to the moon with Bitcoin or we're crashing to the ground. We are just we're in a difficult level now that we are getting back into retracements for Bitcoin. But all right, there you go. Here's all the things. Hopefully we can continue this. Now 44,100 as the day gets kicked off and the stock market does open. Let's take a look at the stock market as we are opening. We do have a positive day over here on Wall Street as we get things kicked off. The NASDAQ is up 92 points. The S&P is up 22 points and the Dow Jones up 163. So the NASDAQ is up 0.59%. The S&P is up 0.51% and the Dow Jones is up 0.45%. Looking over there on that list, mostly green over here. Winners of the day would be Tesla, Ford, Nvidia, and GE. Losers of the day are Amazon and United Health, although just barely in the red. But there you go. Your bigger winners today are Tesla, Ford, and Nvidia, but nothing huge. Like Coinbase has been the one that's just been the standout, occasionally being up 5, 6, 7% in a day. Moving on down to precious metals and the dollar. So the dollar has been, as we know, it's been moving its way back up, getting back up to that like wave 4 within wave 5. We'll see if this thing can roll over now that it's getting a little bit higher up into this range. That was the thought that we end up having. Now the thought has been this thing can roll itself over and kerplonk. But as you can see, like in these examples, just because we're talking about, hey, going down to here, doesn't mean it could do that, right? Like that's like saying, hey, it has to go here. You saw that the trickery that happens in here. You can go like this, and then eventually go. But that's kind of my idea, my thoughts on the DXY. I'm not in the belief that this thing is crashing down to zero. If anything, I think this move is getting closer to exhaustion than just beginning. But as for gold finally found some support this morning after the big pullback that happened after it went into a fresh all-time high on Sunday night. So interesting to see that support in there. Nice little trend line I drew over here on on silver. Kind of like a throwback back test. This looks like kind of a sloppy sideways Wyckoff accumulation structure happening in here. And that this was our spring phase here, breaking out and then now backtesting the trend, the neckline. We'll see if that goes. Just the fact that it's gotten through all retracement levels, it still just makes me think this thing's going to march up higher somehow. But we'll see if that does give it a little bit of support, finding an actual Fibonacci retracement level, a previous resistance here, as you can see just from the price behavior, right? This was where the resistance was. Now here we go, behaving as a supportive level. We'll see if that holds in there for silver. But bigger things to keep eyes out for, of course, are going to be the stock market in here. And so, unfortunately, we won't have the NDXT for another 15 minutes, or really 11 minutes, until we can see how the technology sector is doing, because Bitcoin loves to play with the technology sector, and of course, we've seen the technology sector lead the way. Talked about this like 2 weeks ago. So here, let's go back to it. Go in here. Right, technology sector leaves it back on November 15th, right? And then Bitcoin's doing all this great gravy, fun stuff in here to follow right behind it too. So, is it a technology or is it a money? It's tech. It is tech. All right, so there you go. I think that gives an idea just on Bitcoin. Bitcoin continues to march, but we know we're getting into all those retracement levels. This was the moment in 2020, if this is the circumstance we're following, if we are following something more like a 2020 style structure, which still to this point, like the actual structure of it looks nearly identical. This was the phase in which, this is where altcoins finally were able to escape these ranges and get going. And we actually are seeing that happening here after being in that sign of strength for a whole month, right? And that's like kind of what we talked about, like a month being in there. Finally starting to see ourselves pop out of here. And what's interesting too is like when I put out the video yesterday, it was like, all right, this was the marker of when these things could start to happen. And then we look over here at these altcoins and you say, okay, well, look, there's Ethereum finally leaving the sign of strength too, as Bitcoin reaches this level. But it's not just that. Like we can look over here at Doge. There's Doge leaving it, right? Doge has been in this sideways area. Now here we go. There's Doge leaving it. There's SHIB leaving it. So there's November 11th. There's SHIB leaving. AVAX. There's AVAX leaving it after being stuck there since mid-November. There's Cardano leaving it, right? Cardano after being in it all this time. And it's all happening here. So we'll take it. We'll take it. Again, the thoughts are like nothing's going to change like in here in regards to like my thoughts And the things I'm going to be concerned about and worried about is just when we get back up into these levels in here, like in particular, like around a $675 billion to $700 billion market cap for total three, that what, you know, it could stop here. It could go higher, 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 all throughout here. But what typically ends up happening is we do come back. We do come back, and then we can go on it and have a great time. So as we go into there, it's going to be the things that we always see happen in this market, especially like what we're seeing right now with Bitcoiners, where it's like we're going to 500K now. We know we're in a retracement. We know that that's where we are at. And all that thought process of pullbacks happening gets thrown out the window. that can never ever happen. Even in Bitcoin's 2017 bull run, I believe there were at least 40% pull downs that happened in there. And what we're talking about, even here with Bitcoin, even in this circumstance, like you could go higher, right? That's a 40% pull down, right? You had like 6 of them in 2017. So it's not unusual, but what is normal is the irrationality to thinking that they can't happen. So I just have to remain alert and aware that those things are possible. And so and the reason we have to talk like this too is because when they everybody's singing Kumbaya right now. Everybody's holding hands. Everybody's fist pumping, doing Twitter spaces. They're sharing CNBC articles and Bloomberg articles saying that they're in the biggest bull of their lives and that they're going to 500K. But we know that's what happens when prices go up. And then when prices pull back, infighting, whose fault is this? This is somebody's fault. We need to blame somebody, right? It just is always how it ends up going. So pullbacks do eventually end up happening, and just, you know, be prepared. Be prepared. All right. But there you go. Total 3, getting the break, just like we're seeing over here in a lot of these altcoins as well. So let's see here. You got QNT trying. You got DOT going, right? So this is all happening right where it should be, just like it did back in 2020. So for that, I'm like, all right, cool. That's definitely a dynamic we would want to see if we want to think 2020 as possible, which would not give that big 40% pull down in there. But don't you dare say for a second that's what I'm saying, because I'm not. But this is definitely what you would want to see for that scenario. Is you would want to see right here, like we said yesterday in my video. What's the title? It's like right now, right? What did I post? I gotta go find it. This was the triggering point on the Bitcoin price chart. This was the triggering point on the Bitcoin price chart for the altcoin market to surge, and then right now, right? That when that happened right there, this was the moment. And then here you go. Now you're getting it. There you go. There goes DOT getting out of there. There goes Cardano getting there. There goes SHIB getting out. There goes Dogecoin. There goes QNT trying. Matic, how about you? No, you're not ready. How about Algorand? Algorand trying, right? How about HBAR? HBAR had poked out of there. So all these things are trying right now. This is all good gravy, good stuff. But you know, like hopefully it lasts a while. But you know, what the things to be keep an eye on are really the next week or two. And so looking for, like, let's just like play this through our heads and like say what happened, right? It was like a week or two of really crazy excitement that happened in here as you know, essentially crypto, like the altcoin market, imagine it all sitting right down in here. And then in a matter of a week, like in like 7 to 10 days, while it takes Bitcoin 50 days to go from here to here, the altcoin market stays here. And then in 7 to 10 days, it does a big catch up. So then it gets like really euphoric, really crazy, really wild. And then the altcoin market cools off again, all over again, and it's over before you know it. It's just like somebody snaps their fingers and it's over and it's done. And so we have to keep that in mind as that, and that's my thought process. Like I always say, try to look 2 steps ahead. If you look 2 steps ahead, you look like a dingus. If you're only 1 step ahead, you look like a genius. I'm always trying to be 2 steps ahead. That's why people always hate me, right? If we're staying 2 steps ahead, if you're like in the last second, right on time, and you're only one step ahead or a half a step ahead, people can like see that. But when you're two, it's a lot harder for people. But being 2 steps ahead is just thinking, hey, look, if we do that, if we act like that, it was only like 7 to 10 days. There was this big full-blown catch-up that happened in the altcoin market, and then somebody snapped their fingers and turned it off again. And to keep that in mind. Okay. There you go. We appear to be making moves happening in here in various places throughout the altcoin market, and that is fantastic. XRP still waiting on its turn to go with it, right? This is just going to move with the rest of the market for right now. I've been working on some other stuff right now. I'm not going to go talking into high detail about this, but one thing I am trying to figure out, is you guys all know, with this stuff, right? I've been writing newsletters over there on blockchainbacker.substack.com, diving into like developer data, diving into percentage drawdowns, and talking about circulating supply inflation rates, trying to decode what would have improved the odds of altcoin performance back in 2021. And this is another one of these things I'm working on. It's like I'm trying to monitor our current time periods as if we are versus 2021, color coding things to see, at what points did like a K-shaped recovery start to happen, right? And so like a K-shaped recovery would be like, hey, we all go like this, and then we come back for the recovery, and then some assets do that, and some assets do that. And where is that particular moment? Still working on this, but this has actually been what my whole morning has been all about, and what all the rest of my day is going to be too. Because if we go back to these moments in time, there does seem to be like where there becomes moments where the separation happens, right? Where you get all of your losers to scoot to the bottom and all your winners to scoot to the top. And so there does become that. And it becomes how do we get that, right? So I don't know why I'm sharing this with you, but I'm just showing you what I'm working on today. So, okay. There you go. XRP still with the rest of the group. We all know this. If this thing turns on, it could just do that, right? So it could just torture you, and then there you go. And one of those ones that, where are you? I think I actually have it right here. Right. So this was XRP back then, right? So how many days was this? This was like 3 days, right? So it only took it 3 days to go from there to there, when that whole thing ended up playing out. So like we always say, if you're looking for XRP to comfort you and hug you and kiss you goodnight and to scratch your back and to give you some warm milk, it's not going to. It's going to beat you up. It's going to lock you in your room, and then it's going to come in and like give you a piece of candy at the end. Like it's going to constantly be a torturous nightmare until it finally flips, and then it goes. That's when all your content creators are going to say, flip the switch. What's happening? What news is going on? And this is just how the price behaves. It's not going to give you a warm hug. It's going to torture you. And then finally it's going to shoot and zoom and moon. And that's just how it always is. So that's going to be my expectation. The things that I look for is for positive Bitcoin price action. I look for altcoins to show the way and lead the way. And all of those things combined are positive for XRP. Not the global reserve currency backed by gold, CBDC, Trump, quantum financial system, all the money, Ripple IPO shares. It is just this. It is that simple, people. It is that simple. Okay. There you go. NDXT. So we're about to get this thing updated in here. It should be okay because the NASDAQ is up this morning. It looks like this has cooled off a little bit for the stock market as the morning has kind of set in. Tesla, GE, and Caterpillar are the leaders this morning. The losers so far are now Coinbase slipping into the red with Amazon and Apple. NDXT does open up positive. Again, this is a 15-minute delay. And so we know that the NASDAQ actually did already pull back a little bit from the actual opening. So probably see a little bit of a pullback happening from the actual opening here for the NDXT, which gapped up here for the actual opening. But as you can see, there's that 786 Fibonacci retracement level. That's where it's got to get through. Got to get through there to give some hope and optimism of YOLO times for Bitcoin, I would assume. But Bitcoin does sit above 44,000. So, all right, dollar, we've already covered that. Dow Jones, we've covered it. NDXT, gold, we've talked about it. I think that's just where we're at. If you haven't caught yesterday's video, which a lot of you have, It is one of the better performing videos that I've had in the last week or two. You guys must have liked it, according to the thumbs up. there's a few thumbs up on it. Oh, geez. Look at all those memberships going there in the chat. Holy cow. Holy guac. Okay. Thank you guys very much. I'll get to that stuff here really quick, but that's just just quick summary of where we're at right now, right? We are seeing some movement happen over here in the altcoin markets. Of the sign of strength has been working out here. We see the total 3 starting to pop out. We've gone through various altcoins like Dogecoin, Cardano, SHIB, AVAX. QNT is trying over here. Polkadot is doing it. H-bar popped up in there. You're getting things trying to break out of those sign of strengths, and some of them are successfully doing it currently right now. So these are positive things to be happening in the market. Hopefully the course of the next week to two is really kind of the exciting time for the altcoin market. But remember, these times can be short-lived. Like people want to think that the stuff will last for 6 months on end, right? This could just be a week or two of incredible excitement. And over here on this channel, I'm going to keep my head very level during that moment, very similarly to how I am with Bitcoin. Lots of excitement out there, lots of narrative storytelling about Bitcoin out there. But I am still keeping my head very level in here, understanding that this is a retracement. There is no story. There is no that most people can't wrap their head around. Just markets get oversold. Retail gets extremely wrong-footed. So much capital is on the sideline, and then price goes up, so people buy it. So why are they buying it? Because price goes up, and it's just FOMO. It's not necessarily that there's any type of narrative going on. The ETF stuff, you guys knew all about the ETF stuff in here, and you were still selling, looking for 12K. You can't tell me it's any different here. It's just narrative building. But as we get back into retracement levels, keeping my head level on here, I'll be keeping my head level here on total 3, but I also know that the altcoins can move very quickly. So we'll get caught up in the moment, we get caught up in it very fast, and we'll still come onto this channel. And some of you will be emotional handbaskets. Some of you will. And there's 2,700 people in here. That may only be 15 of you, right? Not necessarily 2,000 of the 2,700, but some people will just become emotional handbaskets in here and not know what to do. Because it's the gambler's fallacy. It's that, if prices go up, the mindset becomes you lose if you sell. If you sell and price continues to go up, you lose. That's the exact same thing as buying high and price falling. Because if you hadn't sold and it went up, you would have double your money, right? But instead, you don't have that double of money, so you took a loss, right? So it's just a mindset and in the thick of excitement. And then the second things turn over, people get all pissed off. But we'll keep things very level-headed. And the big area that we'll be watching for, the first area of big watching for total 3 would be about $690 billion. As you can see, there's a long ways to go to get there. But that's my thoughts on where the first area of looking for interesting price areas. But again, this could be another, really the main one up in here again at about 850 for total 3. Again, long ways to go. But we talk about these things ahead of time. Why? We're 2 steps ahead, right? 2 steps ahead. And then when we get to the exact moment, all the crazies will come out. All the crazies will. But we got a long ways to go. And so far, we're doing good, guys. We're doing really good. And no doubt about it. How many doubters and haters did we have earlier? But here we go. We've been getting through this stuff, and we'll just keep moving it the same way we do. All right, there you go. That's it. I think that's all for crypto. Bitcoin over 44K. We are starting to see the moves happen over there in the altcoins as they're starting to escape those November ranges, as we had talked about. Total 3 is finally starting to move. And the video that was put out yesterday discussing that we were at this was the level that we saw the altcoins get moving here back from 2020. And sure enough, we're actually seeing them leave these ranges today. So this is fantastic. We'll keep our eyes on it for the next week. Otherwise, DXY, hopefully that's kind of the place where it's going to chill out now. Dow Jones doing okay to start the day, up about 100 points, everything's up about 0.25% in there. Leaders this morning. Hey, it looks like, has Coinbase gone back green? It has. It's at 140. So there you go. All right, let's check out crypto news. I didn't see anything earlier too interesting when I was skimming through at the beginning. Bitcoin surge blasts $170 million in bearish shorts. The Bitcoin surge. So we do know Bitcoin is up 10% in the last week, but that is considered a surge for Bitcoin. mathematically, we've done a lot of analysis on this to show that Bitcoin actually is the worst performer in the long term in these things. In 2021, from like this point where we're at right now, Bitcoin was the worst performer. But 10% is considered an absolute surge. But mathematically, that would end up being incorrect in the long term. So, okay, cool surge. I'm not going to read that. Key metrics show crypto traders turning to Ether from Bitcoin. Uh-oh. Sound money. They're going to Ether. Crypto payments, PayPal, stablecoin, Ripple on what? Okay, I don't need that. Okay. All right. U.S. senators drill into FTC's work to track AI attacks on older citizens. Okay. Bitcoin is up 170% since the ECB called its last gasp at 16.4. Expect record broken by Bitcoin ETF. Okay, remember all this stuff too, right? So one thing to pay attention to, guys, is the mockery that is happening of things like Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer was a bear at the bottom. Sell all your Bitcoin now, right? What's fascinating about that is that like people know that's a bad sign or that's a good sign, right? When CNBC is doing that. But what is also incredibly fascinating is that when prices are moving to the upside and when CNBC and Bloomberg are on their side saying Bitcoin's going to the moon, they agree with it because it suits their bias at the time, right? But everybody looks back and they point to this stuff and they're like, oh, you know, when CNBC did this stuff, that actually marked the bottom when they were like super mega bears or, you know, they're talking about the ECB in here. But when price is going up and then CNBC becomes bulls, they're all like, yeah, right? So then what happens is times change and you look back on it, you're like, oh, that was the mark. That was the mark. But we get so, again, this is one of those things you get drunk on emotions. I talked about that last time. I was talking about that in here, how drunk everybody was on their emotions. What was I calling it? Is that what I was calling it? I can't remember. You know, and then eventually, you know, they do it to the opposite way. Okay, well, we'll keep going. All right, crypto payments. PayPal's stablecoin ripple effect on markets. Boy, that wasn't an intentional play on words. The SEC is facing another defeat in its recycled lawsuit against Kraken. Elon Musk's AI files. Why do boy, they really want to include AI in with crypto stuff. Bitcoin price hit 2023 high. So why are retail traders waiting on the sidelines? Well, the last ones there's barely any. Web3 firm detects major security flaw in common smart contracts. BlackRock received 100K seed funds for Bitcoin ETF. Paris-based to continue NFT lending as it rebrands to Parallel Finance. There you go. Private payrolls increased by 103,000 in November, below expectations. Women's sports, the signs are pointing to a banner travel year. Putin does something. The U.S. firm slow hiring. Apple set to avoid EU crackdown over iMessages. Okay, there's nothing going on. TXMC would probably be like, no, those payrolls. I love that guy. All right, guys, that's what we got for today. We're above 44K over here on Bitcoin. You see total 3 trying to escape the sign of strength range, and we see that happening in various altcoins throughout the market in the last 24 hours that they're starting to poke above these ranges too after being stuck for a month. So we'll keep our eyes on it for the course of the next week. If you haven't caught yesterday's video that I released, that's the banger to go watch right now. It shows the timing of how this all occurred and how this was the moment in which we did actually start leaving these ranges for the altcoin market. And sure enough, we are seeing that start to happen here right now. And we're seeing that in various altcoins throughout the market this morning as we get started. So this next week, hopefully, is where we start to see things really start to gain a little bit of steam. Otherwise, things are just looking positive over here in crypto, including Bitcoin, including the altcoin market. And with that, we'll take it. All right. I'm hopping into the chat, guys. We're going to keep this one good and brief and very casual.
It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday, my dude.
Wednesday, my It is Wednesday, dudes.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. All right, there we go. Hopping into the chat, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in on this fine Wednesday. I hope you're having a wonderful week. You should be. Alexanderopoulos gifted 5 BCB memberships before the stream even started. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you all for tuning in yesterday we had the members stream yesterday. But thank you, George. Thank you very much. Spags says, Hedera H-bar, huge 7% jump to 7 cents. Hit that like, boy. Yes, thank you guys so much. We're already at like over 900 likes. I haven't even begged you for likes yet. Thank you very much for hitting that, smashing the like. Number one way to support the channel. Dilkansky says, what's going on? Thank you, sir. Jim Gaines gifted a BCB membership. Thank you very much. And so did Jonas. Jonas gifted one as well. Thank you. Amir Teutonium became a new member. Thank you very much. Teutonian. There we go. Jeff S. says, Algo, Python code integration. 8 million Python users. Huge dev news. Okay. Dennis, we've looked at Algo's developer activity. It's in the trash can. Maybe they'll come back, but it's definitely in the wrong direction. Dennis Wayne gifted 1 BCB membership. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right, so I have to be careful when somebody does that and they gift like $5 and they want their altcoin said like Algo. We've definitely, just because this guy is saying Python code integration, 8 million Python users, huge dev news, that's not what is being shown on chain. It is being shown that things are looking very bleak for Algo. Poor. And we've shown that. Dennis Wayne gifted 1 BCB membership. Thank you very, very much. Proud father of 5 says, hey, BCB, do you think alts like ADA and AVAX will only reach 2022 highs, this retracement, and then a big pullback, or will they go higher, 72? Any thoughts on ORDI chart? I don't know what ORDI is, so I'm not going to pull ORDI up. I haven't heard of it, and I know it's not in like top developer activity coins. That's something I've noticed. As for the extensions of those, we're just going to have to watch the whole market at the exact same time and see how carried away this thing can be. If Bitcoin's only going to go to retracements to the altcoin market, if total 3 is only going to go to, right up in here and then pause and then flash itself back down, you would think those things are probably doing the same thing. And then it'd have to take a lot more consolidation to get a bigger push up higher. But if these things get carried away, they could all happen right now. But we're going to have to watch this particular moment. I've tried to be real clear on this, right? And I don't think a lot of people, like, this is the most logical thing to happen in here. But this would indicate there's like a year of that to get stuck in there like that. And, this is my best guess right now. If this thing fires out of here and that's wrong, it just keeps going, well, then it's all going to happen right now. But this is my logical best guess of how the behavior would happen in the short to medium term, like over the next month or 2 or 3. This is the big euphoria moment. This is the same stuff Bitcoiners are screaming. They're going to new all-time highs. They're thinking corrections are impossible. They're not going to go back to 30 to 32K. It's very possible. I mean, in this circumstance, no. Like in this circumstance right here, like this only pulled back down again to 43K, and that was as low as it went before it went marching on to all-time highs. So if it keeps going like 2020, yeah, I mean, that's it. But you can't, like, how I personally cannot rule that out. I can't rule that out because the timing is just dumb. It's just dumb how on point this whole thing is. And it got back into it, and then it pulled back down to touch the support levels like we've shown over there on the BLX many times. So I have to think that this is possible to happen in here. And in the event that that's the case, right, what have we talked about? We said, hey, look, if Bitcoin gets stuck in here, it's going to be stuck in here like another 7 months, right? Something like that. And then it can kind of start marching its way back up again. If that's the case, then what would that mean for a total 3? It would likely mean that, right? So I have to think it's logical and possible that could occur. And this would be cool. This would be great for the crypto market, like on a longer term basis. I do know we all want it right now. I get that. I don't have control on the timing of it. I can just tell you my thoughts on the things that I see on the charts. That this seems logical, and this is how price has behaved for over 1,000 days. How many days into this are we? 963 days. And like this one right here, like I know this seemed dumb at the time to be looking at it in this manner, but it did it. Like it did it. Like that's crazy, right? So if this is the case, right, you're having to make a pretty strong bet to say this isn't the case. It's going to move. It's going to go insane. It's going to go crazy. Is it still acting like 2020? For sure. But to rule that out and say this can't happen, impossible. So when you ask like, hey, is this only going to retrace or is this mooning? These are the things I see, and I don't see enough information to sit there and like put a percentage probability on either one. My thoughts for Bitcoin have been to get back into retracements in here. Now we have to wait and see how it's going to react in here. And this is where all the struggles can happen at. And your favorite Bitcoiners out there can tell you this thing is going to the moon while they were all screaming for 12K just a month and a half ago. You are realizing it live in the moment. Who is just an emotional retail investor but has a very large audience. You can very quickly pinpoint it of what's happening out in there. But this is a challenge in here now. This right here, I'm screaming, we're going back up, we're going back up, we're going back up. Now it just becomes washing machine. It becomes not washing machine. It just becomes much more challenging. And like for me, I think we have a big move coming. I think we have a big move coming. And in the market, but the question is it have escape velocity attached to it yet, or is it retracement, correction, consolidation, and then escape velocity? I think that's the things to keep an eye on, right? So, but we're behaving as we should. So, okay. And then my brother, Alpha Beta Soup, 22 minutes ago. I don't even know if he's still here. He hooked up 5 BCB memberships, man. Thank you very much, sir. Oh, I see you. Dude, Alpha Beta Soup, you're not even a member, bro. What is going on here? Dude, you're not even a member, but you've gifted 5 members. Dude, somebody gift him one. Somebody gift him one and make him a member. What is going on here? Thank you, sir. BCB Padawan, member for 6 months. BCB, will you play the Screwed Up and Chop Frog before the end of the markets in the morning? Thank you for all you do. Hit the like and support the channel. I will happily do it, and I'll do it for you right now. Have a wonderful day. How do I do this? Here we go. There, and get it.
It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday, my
There you go. I know you're not the only one who loves it. And then there's just equally as many people who hate it. So happy for everybody. Thank you, BCB Padawan. 6 months, man. Thank you. Phil Thembags gifted 20. Dude, what? Fill them bags. I get it. Dude, just coming out of nowhere. Fill them bags, man. Thank you very much. Holy cow, guys. You dropped a 20. Thank you very, very, very much. Sherb says, do you know much about vortex math? Not that I can recall. I almost have 2 college degrees. I do have 1 4-year university degree. And then I do almost have an entire other 4-year university degree in science and mathematics. And I do have all my mathematics completed. So I don't know if that, and I can't recall if there was anything in there about vortexes. Trying to think. It would not be calculus. I don't think it'd be like linear algebra. I don't know. I can't recall. Gary Guam. Love you, BCB. I lost it. There we go. Gary Guam, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support, brother. Hot Tub Brian, don't just lurk, y'all. Hit the like button to be groovy. And if we get 1,500 likes, Oscar will buy everyone egg McMuffins. What do we do to like see the chat like go like the most chat? Like how do we like lure out all the lurkers and make them like type I'm a lurker? All right, let's do it. Let's just do it. Whatever. It's Wednesday. Hey, look, guys, if you're tuning in here for like really killer, awesome content now, and you're like, I need extreme alpha, I think we're beyond that. I don't know if we even had any in this show, but we're going to kind of goof off for the rest of this thing. So I'm going to lure out the lurkers right now. Guys, okay, if you're a lurker, I want you to like look at your chat on your phone. I just want you to type in the words and don't hit send yet. Don't hit it. Hold on, everybody. Chill, everybody, chill. Not yet, not yet, not yet. I want you to type in the words, I am a lurker, and don't hit send yet. Don't do it yet, but I'm going to give you just a second to type it out. And then you're going to like make yourself present. We're going to know you're here, even though you don't say anything. But all right, you need to have it already typed out and ready to go. Okay. And then I'm going to count to 3 and then we're all going to hit send. Okay. So you have, I am a lurker. Okay, here we go. I'm going to count down. 3, 2, 1, send. Here we go. Let's see if they're here. Holy cow. Hi. Oh, man. Wow. Well, guys, you're there. You're there. I think the chat rate is normally like 50 a minute. That's probably like 510 seconds. Wow. Okay, cool. Wow. Look at it all go. Well, guys, it's nice to know you're there. Thank you for saying hi and coming out and saying what's up. You know, I guess there's only like, 50 or 100 people ever chatting in the chat, but maybe it's obviously thousands sitting back there just saying, hey, I'm a lurker. Well, thanks for stepping away from whatever you're doing. You're probably sitting there doing some accounting work at your job or whatever you're doing, swinging a hammer, and you had to put the hammer down and say, hold on, I need to type into BCB's chat. But thank you for taking that moment to do that. You can get back to lurking, and we'll just kind of go through everything, keep going through the stuff in here. You know what? That deserves a high-speed frog. It's nice to see you guys. Thanks for coming out. Hold on, we're high-speeding it.
It is Wednesday, my
There we go. Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. Back to the party. Fill them bags had thrown it down big time. And then we had Vortex Math. Love you, BCB. Don't hit the like button. Okay, here we go. Don't just lurk, y'all. Said Hot Tub Brian. Hot Tub Brian. You just led to that whole moment happening. Just so you know. Says, don't just lurk, y'all. Hit the like button to be groovy. If we get 1,500 likes, Oscar will buy everyone egg McMuffins. All right, thank you, Hot Tub Brian, and thank you for that fun moment of seeing all the lurkers say what's up. Darren Walsh says, what do you think the market cap will be on this bull run? Also, can you talk about what small caps or mid caps you think will do good? Thanks, PCP. Everybody wants small cap. Everybody wants trade calls. They want secret coins of small caps for big, massive pumps and stuff like that. You guys, if you're looking to content creators to give you that, first of all, most content creators are entering into leverage long positions before they're sharing that with their followers. They're treating it as a pump and dump. You're gonna have to take those gambles yourself. You're not going to find low caps and mid caps shared here on this channel. That's just not something I've ever done. You're not going to hear about leverage trading on this channel. You're not going to hear about low cap coins the secret gems that I've found that I'm going to share with you guys very soon. If you don't understand why people do that too, right? If they're like, hey, look, I found these low cap gems, I'm going to share it with you. They get everybody all hyped up and all ready to go and anticipating and ready to go. They go ahead and enter into their leverage long position, and everybody's sitting there anticipating, ready to buy whatever coin is going to be shared. Then they share the coin, and boom, they pump the coin, and the person who has the leverage long position reaps the benefits. It's, you're just not going to get that from me. You never have, you never will. But I give you all the tools to go try to find that kind of stuff, you guys, and that's over here, and of course over here, right? So you could try to do that stuff yourself. I love you guys, but it's just what you're asking for is I'm gonna be straight. It's just kind of laziness, and it's looking for someone. You want someone to give you. Like, especially when so here's the deal too, especially when you're like actively asking influencers what's a low and mid cap gem or something like that. What people really do is that they just want to hear it, and then they want to buy it and have it pump. And then if it crumbles, they blame the influencers. Like, you knew what you got. You knew what you were trying to get. You were trying to get a massive pump and dump, and it's just the worst place to go to ask those questions is influencers. Just so you know, because influencers are going to have positions in the ones that they want to share with you ahead of time, and it's so much sliminess from people you trust. It's very alluring to do it. So the worst place to get that input is an influencer. But Darren, what do you think of the market cap will be on this bull run? I think we talk about that quite a bit. That the first. Oh wait, this is the other thing I'm working on. The total three, the first area. These are areas. This April stuff, likely a pullback. And then, I don't know if we're going to see anything nearly as majestic or not, but we need to see more come out of this market right now before we start moon. Again, keeping it PG. Standing around in a circle eating smoked beef. I don't know what to say. Before we start getting ourselves too excited about big things, let's do one step at a time. How about that? Let's do this step, right? There will be corrections along the way. Let's do those, and then after that we could talk more about stuff. Sherv with a super chat of $2 and then types gifted 1 BTC. I'll be checking my Bitcoin wallet for that, sir. Thank you, Sherv, for the super chat. Hot Tub Brian gifted 5 BCB memberships. Thank you very much, Hot Tub Brian. Sheldon Albertson is a new member as a hodler. Welcome, Sheldon. Nice. Zoltan Vakuya gifted a BCB membership. Thank you. And then so did, wow. Whoa, I can't keep up with this. I'm so behind. Zoltan. And then the Stoned Apes gifted 1. And then Oscar gifted 5. You guys are killing it. Again, yesterday, like if you missed it in the after chat yesterday, so the chat stays live for about 5 minutes after the stream comes to a conclusion. That was the wildest 5 minutes after a stream that we've had. That was crazy. Mr. Soto, thank Oscar gifted 5. Oscar, my brother, of course, you're the most famous person I know. And your support always, man. Thank you. Mr. Soto, been watching you since sub 12,000 followers. Thanks for everything you do. If you guys haven't signed up for the courses, it's the most informative course for the money. I've learned so much. Thank you, Mr. Soto. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, he's talking about bcbacker.com. But more importantly, thank you for the very kind words. Thank you for being around for such a long time and continuing to stick with me. And even after this long, still supporting the channel, brother. Thank you very much, man. Zoltan gifted 5 BCB memberships, man. Thank you. Anthony Trujillo says 702 discrepancy between the market cap of HBAR and price. Hit the like for moon time. Yeah, huge discrepancy, right? So HBAR during the bearish period there suffered from massive inflation, right? Now their inflation has gotten corrected, right? What are they at now? Hold on. inflation, their annual inflation rate has slowed to 13%, right? But for the last year, they've been 46%. Now they're down to 13. 13's a manageable level to be at. But that 46% for those years really hurt the price chart of it. So you're going to have to watch that stuff, right? So, things to pay attention to, right? So like this, right? Notice where the price is, way down here. Where the market cap is. There it is. You guys have seen this, so I won't spend too much time on this, but see how low the price chart came? Right? That's way down here. Right? The market the market cap still has held way up here, and this market cap is currently sitting up here. That's right here. Like this is where the market cap of H bar is at, way up in here, right? So, the thing about H bar obviously is it's kind of, where are you? There you are, right? You've already come back and hit these April prices before. So it's been like a longer consolidation. So like, I don't know, this is going to be the area up in here, like a 4 billion. So like 100% price increase for now would be normal, which on H bar, I guess that would be more of like down here to the support level down over here. And then kind of watching if it has to kind of go like that and then consolidate before it can move up. But for price targets, for me, probably I'm going to have to be using this thing because way too much time was spent destroying the token price with the inflation. So it's real important to keep an eye on those things with those inflations. And that's what we, of course, talk about here and here. But yeah, I'd pay attention to the market cap. Maddie B, a member for 11 months. BCB, have you ever taken a Myers-Briggs personality test? I suspect you're an ENTP. Anyway, thanks as always for your hard work and effort. I haven't. I have no clue. And I don't know what any of those acronyms stand for. ENTP, no clue. I'm going to consider that is super awesome, totally epic. That's what I'm going to guess that is what that stands for, which I agree. You made a good assessment. Thanks, Matt. Anthony Trujillo says, gifted one BCB membership. He didn't say it. He gifted a BCB membership. Thank you so much. So did BCB Padawan. Woe Bowl says, GRT, high development, low price, looking juicy. There was some problems I'd seen with it. Hold on. Where's the one I'm working on? Okay, GRT inflation. I think that was where a problem was for it. Where's the graph? Okay. The graph has had 35% inflation for the last year, which is high. That's outside of what could be considered like a sweet money zone or a sweet inflation, a sweet spot zone. However, over the last 6 months, the inflation rate has dropped and it's down into 7%, which is okay and more manageable. What was the other? Is there any other problem with it? A problem may have been, one, it's not in top development coins, right? It's not in top development activity. It's also in decline, undeveloped total active developers. So that's a -2. But again, a lot of this market is in decline on total active developers. And it'll be very interesting to see the annual report that gets released by Electric Capital, hopefully sometime this month. It could be any day right now. Hopefully we don't have to wait until January to get that, but it could be any day. Maybe I'll shoot them a DM. They tend to respond to me. They know that I share their stuff, and like they're not sponsors or anything like that. So they're like, oh yeah, well, send traffic our way. So maybe I'll send them a DM, and they do like they know that I want to know. And so when they release stuff, they shoot me a DM, and then they say, hey, just so you know, we did it. I'm like, oh, sweet. So I'll ask them what their ETA thing is. I also don't want to be like a thorn in their side. Be like, hey, where's that report, guys? Hey, guys, I know you're working really hard, but can you speed it up because I need to know. I don't want to be that guy. But hopefully we get that report and see that there's been some improvement to the development activity in the cryptocurrency market with the rise in prices, because that typically is what happens when we see price appreciation return back to the market. We see development activity return back to the market too. And as you know, like this, like it makes sense that development activity has been low because this market's been depressing. All you guys screaming for 12K, that's depressing. That was depressing. And so, you know, now that prices are returning, the 12Kers are gone, $44,000 Bitcoin, that brings more optimism and people wanting to come develop in the ecosystem. Now the big question will be is, where are they going? If they're all returning, which ecosystems are they going to? That's going to be interesting to see. So I look forward to getting that data. But GRT, last time I checked, you said high development. I don't know where you're seeing high development at. Right, let's go here. I've got them down 59% on full-time developers year over year, down 72% total developers. Way lower than market average. There you go. Look at that. Look at these declines in activity here. Look at this for the graph. You know, there you go. It's not dead, but it's definitely trending the wrong way, right? So when this thing starts updating, if we start seeing if we start seeing splits, if we do start seeing like K recoveries happening in regards to where developers are going in this ecosystem to build on, like from here on out, like from now on, right? Like seriously, I think that's probably a good assessment to see. We know like just in general, sentiment has improved in the market with Bitcoin going up and prices going up and Ethereum leaving its little range that it's been stuck in for the last year and a half. Like Ethereum's above that range. It's been in it for a year and a half. The last 4 days, it's broken out of it. If we see looking for K recoveries even happening over there in development activity, right? Like if we see some of them starting to grow, but some of them continue to decline, those ones that are continuing to decline, those are probably run for the hills, is what my thoughts would be on that. And because like we know, like the whole market is just from the development standpoint, it's been in a decline, right? Full-time devs down 24%. That's different from any years past that we have data on to see something like that happen. And so, but I suspect this data will change when we get our next report, which may be tough too, because like it's almost kind of like a double-edged sword. Like you want the data right now. Like I definitely would want to see the annual report right now on crypto. But what I also know is if they provided an annual report right now, it would not include what has happened here in the last week. And I kind of would like to see what happens in crypto for this next month to be included in the annual report to show how things changed here. Now that a little bit of excitement has returned back to the market, because I bet there's a K-shaped recovery happening even in the development data. But fortunately, that's why sentiment, like we can at least check it like daily to see where that's happening at, and hopefully figure out a way to kind of chart some of that stuff out. But you know, here when it comes to full-time devs, all right, we're moving on. We're moving on. You get my point. All right, Hudson Hall. Can you give my friend Jake a shout out? To my friend Jake. Isn't that like a song? Hey, Jake, Hudson Hall's friend Jake. What's going on? All right. Anthony Trujillo, again, another 5. Thank you very much, man. How far behind am I? I'm getting closer. I'm only 18 minutes behind. Eric Martinson, my brother, thank you very much. Chris gifted 5. Oscar gifted 1. Then Eric again. Thank you guys very, very much. Mintman says, I had to pull over the UPS truck to type I am a lurker. Thank you. I can't wait to see the chat rate at the end of this thing. It'll be crazy. Lenosek said that the end is near. A lot of meme coins skyrocket. No, this isn't skyrocketing. Dogecoin and SHIB, that's not skyrocketing. Look, man, we know when the end is near, like when it comes to that, right? When all your favorite little content creators are out there, which some of them are doing a little bit of it, when they're posting like ERC20 contracts for check out this new meme coin, they're scamming you, right? And I'm being specific about ERC20, right? I think there's some stuff that's been in development for a while now that you see. Trying to be careful with my words here. What did we see last time, right? When we saw like Pepe going nuts, right? And then you saw like Ben releasing those tokens and people sending him $10 million. Those were kind of the signs, right? Those were kind of warning signs when it came to meme coins. And when everybody's posting their W's, right? Especially when people are posting all of their W's all over the internet with their meme coins. That was like the final week, right? That was like your final week of like, it's over. But maybe that's what your statement is, says. The end is near when a lot of meme coins skyrocket. I didn't know if you were referring to right now, but if you're saying when they do, yeah, for sure. Eric Martin said, thank you very much, brother. Another BCB membership for you guys. Guys, we are at a ton of, there's been 75. Crazy. Thank you, guys. Dutch Crypto 873, the super chat, man, thank you very much. Says, hey, BCB, I love all your work. If Bitcoin retraces only, are you still considering possible further decline with macro expectations of a huge 1920 crash in stocks, or do you think Bitcoin retrace reaccumulation new all-time high later in 2024, 2025? The structure we are creating in the Dow Jones Industrial Average is one of a top. The problem when we say like 1929 is that was a crash that took only 3 years. That's not the type of thing that we're like they were forming here. This is more of like a 20-year downtrend for the Dow Jones Industrial Average of what's happening here, and it's getting very close to being at like a peak. That is the utmost concern, right? That's going to be something in how many years has Bitcoin been around? 14 years, almost 15. That will have never been the case for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has all this fantasy nonsense narrative to it of, yeah, it's totally a hedge. It's totally a hedge. That's the lifespan of Bitcoin. And every single time this stuff has happened, it was very bad for Bitcoin every single time. So if that happens, right, we all have to guess, right? What's your guess? Well, you have to understand there's this brown bear on Twitter, and he says it's a phoenix, and it's got fire, and it's ultrasound, and it's unique, and got unique properties. Sorry, I know I'm being kind of a jerk, but I also try to like point out the nonsense that gets spoken over there on Twitter. It's got very unique special properties of ultrasoundness and fixed supplies of ultrasound of volcano magic. There is no second best. But you also existed from here to here. What do you do in this circumstance? Because what we do know is every single time this happened, you wet the bed. You wet the bed big time. Every time that happened, Bitcoin. What do you do in that event if that's what's happening? Right? So we are all making our best guess here, right? My thoughts are, due to the fact that every single time the Dow has big negative issues, Bitcoin does as well. and the fact that Bitcoin was created right there, and its whole life cycle is that. What happens to it in that? If it is reactionary to every bull run being these moments right here. This is your 2013 bull run. This is your 2017 bull run. This is your 2021 bull run. Bear market, bear market, bear market. What happens if that's the case? Do I know? No, because we've never had it. This is where Bitcoin began. Can I speculate what would happen to Bitcoin in that circumstance? Based on the correlation of the stock market, it does not seem like it would be a good thing for Bitcoin in that event. Right? Again, like, do we have any historical basis to go off of on completed cycles for the stock market and how that would react with Bitcoin? We don't. We only have it in the biggest bull run of most of our lifetimes. Right? But what these things don't typically do, like in 1929, you essentially did that in 3 years. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this is going to be more like 30 years. Or the rest of our lifetimes. That's very bleak and sad, BCB. You know what? Maybe there'd be something different. Maybe gold, right? We're all just like doing gold things. Maybe we all move into digital economies and we put all of our VR headsets on and we all live in a different reality and we just plug in and it's like, hey, who cares about this reality anymore? Let's go live in that virtual reality. I don't know. Making up nonsense, just trying to not make that sound so bleak and sad. But that's, what are you supposed to do when you go to you go exceed a 3.618 massive pullback and we get back up in here? If we reject from here, you tell me what that future is. Yeah. So by all means, dear God, let me be wrong. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it for my kids. F me. I don't want it for my kids. But, that's what it shows, right? Eric Martinson, gifted a BCB membership. Thank you, sir. Hey, let's talk about more positive things. Bitcoin, 44K. Let's go. Magic internet money. Finite supply. To the moon. 500K on Bloomberg. All right, Eric Martinson. Thank you very much. You gifted 2 right there, man. Appreciate it. How far behind am I now? I'm still 20 minutes behind. I got to get moving. This is horrible. Diving into XRP. Is XRP less likely to hit 55 cents with the current conditions? I've watched your channel since 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for everything you do, and thank you for your... so you're asking to predict incredibly short time periods right now, right? So what you had 2 days ago, you had a bunch of people panicking over XRP. Now they're looking at it kind of positively because it's extremely emotionally an extremely emotional group. So 2 days ago, panicked. We got, how many super chats were there? 10 super chats of panic about XRP 2 days ago. None. This is the first one today. I don't know if it's going to hit there. That would be the most likely thing. But am I sitting here trading this? Like, am I panic selling my bags because of that? No, of course not. Right. So, for most people, they can't handle this. You saw people like absolutely lose their S over 4% the other day. That's still 11% down if it did end up getting there. Do I care? I don't care at all. But will it hit? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not gonna put my name on either way, but it would make perfectly sense for it to do it. Eric Martinson. Thank you very much. But diving into XRP, it's just when we're trying to predict short-term timeframes like this, you see the support level. I've presented all of that. Like, to sit here and weigh percentage probabilities on, which one it's going to be. I don't know. Does it matter? Wham. I don't know. I'm gonna guess a lot of people panic sold that thing that day. I'm going to guess a lot of people did. I'm not saying you did, but I'm a bet a lot of people did with how emotional the crowd was that day. Eric, thank you, brother. Joe Matt said, hey, BCB, do you think that if a Bitcoin ETF is approved this week, we might see a Bitcoin all-time high by Christmas? Just kidding, bro. I'm trying to bring out the spicy backer and keep the great work, my dude. Thank you very much. And then you cracked the joke at just enough time so that spicy backer didn't come out. But it worked. While I'm reading it, you could feel the temperature rising. You could feel the redness kicking in. And then the just kidding. I was about to pause there and say, all right, that's enough. Thank you very much. Zoltan Vokoya. Every time missing members in the only, it feels like I'm missing Sunday family dinner, frowny face. Zoltan, I'm sorry, bro. We'll try to get another one in this month. Michael J. Love gifted a membership. Andy gifted 5. Thank you, guys. Andy, man, thank you. Maglu, how is inflation on IOTE? I don't know what that coin is. Let's go see what rank coin we're trying to show on the channel here. Rank 134. I don't know, man. You'll have to do that on your own. Hold on. Yeah, you'll have to pull that one up on your own. It's ranked 134. I'm just not gonna do it. Not that I think 134 is like too far down the range, but I gotta be careful on this stuff when people are trying to pump 100, $200 million market cap coins, which I don't think this is it? 326 million. But you can just go to CoinTrader Pro and then you can just chart it out yourself real easy. Super easy to do. Eric Martinson gifted a BCB membership. Thank you very, very much. Eric, like, man, what do you got? Like 10 or 15 for the day? Man, thank you. Michael Landolfi, member, backer. Thanks for everything you do, BCB. Let me get your name right. Landolfi. Michael, thank you very much. Ryan Rended, my brother, gifted 5. Ryan, another one of those people I've met in person. It's like, who have I met in person? I've met Ryan. I've met Oscar. I've met Pat. I've met Eric. There's probably more. I've met Alpha Beta Soup. Sherv. How don't you know about Vortex Math? Get your tin hat. All right, let's Google it. What is Vortex Math? Am I getting trolled? Well, here's the first thing I see. I see vortex-based math. Like, seriously, and I'm not saying this is what it says. It says vortex-based math is a pseudo-mathematical, vaguely theological piece of nonsense for which some guy named Mark Roden is to blame. Okay. Thank God. Okay. I don't know. I'll look into it more when I have free time. But I may be getting trolled. So we'll do with that. We'll deal with that. Sure, thank you. Andy Philpott, 2,400 viewers and only 1,200 liked. So please hit the like button. We had more people type in I am a lurker in the chat than we did likes. No, I'm just kidding. We got 1,500 likes. That's huge for these live stream, for one of these streams. Thanks, guys. XRP Revolution says, just more of a statement. There are YouTubers that coattail off your videos. I love your content, man. We need a BCB convention. Oh, no, I'm fully aware of it. They're listening right now. Hi, guys. I know you're there. Yeah, there definitely are. I have people send me links all the time that right after I'll create content. There are, especially, there's a couple of people who like watch every video I do, and then that's how they get their ideas for their videos. Just know, everything on this channel is created by me. All ideas are original. All ideas are my own. But like there's not like a lot of like extreme offenders, but there's a couple of them that are like extreme offenders. And they're listening right now because I know they watch every day. With huge, we're talking over 100,000 subscribers, over 100,000 followers. All right. Anthony Trujillo. Ethereum top equals XRP high still valid when moon. Yeah, that's the thing that for me, like, there's lots of different things, but like if XRP's market cap ever caught Ethereum's market cap, that's an instant sell day for me. And we've gone through that many, many times. And if you are like, what? Overthrown Ethereum? Like, what's wrong? It's not based on principle. I get it. A lot of guys are so like angry and principles and all that stuff. That's not what this is, guys. This is about making money. If you're not here to like make money, then what are you doing? You're here to just yell on the internet. The statistics and the math all show anytime XRP catches the Ethereum market cap, that's as far as it can go. But not this time, BCB. It's going to overthrow it. Maybe so, dude. Maybe so. But what data do you have to go off that outside of saying this time is different? So that day, I'd have to take some action. Miles. With just super chat with nothing else. Miles, thank you very much. I think it says this. It says first. It puts that one there. And it used to say first time. It doesn't say first time anymore. I used to always acknowledge you guys when it was your first time. It doesn't do that anymore. It's a different thing that happens. Like in like Sherv, when you're like trolling me on Vortex Math, that was your 20th. But it doesn't show me it for all of them. Unless like if you're manually selecting, which I don't know, maybe it does that now. Let BCB know how many times I've done this. That was numero 20. Venti? What is 20 in Spanish? 20 in Spanish. Oh, I got it. You're welcome. All right. Terrence Rafferty says, thanks for helping guide us on this journey. I feel the next range for XRP incoming. Let's get $5.89. Yes, that would be phenomenal. Yes, Cutter has acknowledged this. The Spanish master of BCB. Terrence, thank you, brother. Yeah, I hope so, man. Skeleton gifts 5 BCB memberships. Man, you guys, incredible amounts of support. As always, today, of course, the cool thing about the memberships, too, is that it's gifting to everybody. Like, everybody gets their name in green. You get the little icons, and which we got to get more icons. We got to get more stuff going on here. I need to put my wife in charge of that and say, you know what I need to say to her? I need to say, hey, listen, lady, I need more emojis. And once I get out of timeout, then maybe I can help her make them. So, okay. We've made it. Little bit of movement over here in the altcoin market. And then, hey, Judd, don't be tagging her. Get me busted, bro. All right. Yeah, do a final recap. Sure. All right. So Bitcoin's sitting at about $44,000, as we talked about yesterday in the video. If you haven't caught the video yesterday, this is where we did see in 2020, when the price action was doing this right in here, this is actually where we did see the altcoin market start to finally break out and do somewhat of a catch up. And here you could see that this is Ethereum and XRP. We've also done this with Total 3 as well, which do I have that on here? Did I lose that? I might have lost that. But anyway, this is where they broke out shortly after in 2020. That's this moment right here, which is exactly where we are currently right now. As we can see over here on total 3, we are finally starting to escape that range now. The Wyckoff sign of strength phase is starting to be escaped here for total 3 now at this exact moment too. We also see that happening in various places on these altcoins too, that they are escaping those ranges they've been stuck in here for the last month. Whether it's HBAR, whether it's Doge, SHIB, AVAX, QNT, are you getting there? There you go. QNT's gotten it now. Polkadot's getting out of there. Cardano's getting out of there. So we're just seeing a lot of movement happening here, escaping this month-long range now. That Wyckoff sign of strength at exact time where we did back in 2020. So we'll take that all day. Hopefully this does lead to an exciting week ahead, but we're just taking kind of one day in time and be a little bit patient here at this time right now. Otherwise, as for the United States stock market, the stock market has opened green. It's not as strong green as it was right at the opening, but it still is in the positive. The Dow Jones is up 68 points. The S&P is up 9 points, and the NASDAQ is up 28 points. All indexes up about 0.2%, so a little bit less than 0.25% to the green. Quite mixed over here. Ford, Tesla, and Caterpillar are leading the way over here in the stock market. The losers are Amazon, Microsoft, and Apple. As for gold and silver, a little bit mixed over there, but kind of flat to a little bit up. So you can see silver slightly down by 1 penny. Gold is up $11. DXY 103.9. So DXY has been roaring its way back up in here. Roaring, if that's what you want to call it. But these are kind of the thoughts of how that stuff does behave here before like a really like true bottom gets formed in here. But it's losing a lot of that, extreme weakness in here. You can see that here with the stochastic RSI. You can see the curl happening here on the MACD happening here. It doesn't necessarily mark that this is the actual bottom, just that the strength of the down move has certainly lost some of its speed. But that's what's to be expected. We'll see if the Dow can keep raging its way up as the altcoins continue to, which I think we probably have at least a week or two, at least, right? This is just initial thoughts here as we're first getting the breakup of excitement happening in the market as Bitcoiners lose their mind that their 10% pump of finite supply and the ultimate volcano magic could not beat out what's about to happen here in this next week for altcoins. So buckle up. I think it's going to be an exciting time. If something changes, of course, we'll address it right away. But this is really what we've been waiting for. We expected a sign of strength. We got stuck in one for a month. We're starting to escape it right as we should, right as we did back in 2020. Here we go. See how she goes. Otherwise, on that note, I've got to get some super chats. Skeleton. Crypt Keeper says, have you noticed the uptick of XRP impatience on X? Sure. That's normal, though. It's always going to happen. The thing that, like, you should have seen how bad it was in 27. I mean, it's been bad many times, but it's nothing unusual. That's a normal thing. It's jealousy, capitulation. Remember, we're talking about the 3 different forms. Price capitulation, time capitulation, jealousy capitulation. And it's not just XRP capitulating. Right? If you, like, lots of people are looking at Bitcoin and saying, oh my gosh, those guys got 10%. We're never going to get 10% in our life. We better buy Bitcoin because these guys are right. Volcanoes. Michael Saylor. Venezuela. El Salvador. Ultimate sound money. Okay, I'll stop. I will stop. Hey, Sherv says, did you ever learn about Fibonacci in college? What's crazy is no. No, but it's fascinating. Because it is built into nature, which is insane. It is almost like it is pre-programmed into the universe. And what I'm waiting for is that, like, some dude is writing some massive research paper, and it turns out that, like, the hidden Fibonacci no one ever noticed for the last 5,000 years is that there was actually a 702 Fibonacci in there that was the most powerful of all, and no one ever noticed it. But this dude named BCB, who does like infotainment over on YouTube discovered it. And like it goes into the history books of solving all the world's problems was 702. Ethan Davis, member for 3 months. What's a good platform and method to obtain free trading from crypto to crypto? It looks like Coinbase One limits you. Free trading from crypto to crypto. It looks like Coinbase One limits you. I'm not sure, but I also don't give exchange recommendations. I'm not sponsored by exchanges. I don't have affiliate links. I don't send you to leverage trading platforms where you're going to get wrecked. I don't feel comfortable recommending exchanges to people. Not because I've ever had a problem with it, right? I've never promoted exchanges on this channel. I've been in crypto 6.5 years. I've seen practically every, there's only one exchange that has survived it all flawlessly, and that's Coinbase. And even they are under scrutiny by the SEC and under lawsuits by the SEC. But Kraken, Binance, right? Binance US, FTX, Poloniex, Bittrex, Bitfinex, it just all comes and goes. And I don't know what the lifespan is of whatever exchange is out there and anybody's going to recommend. It's not infinite, not based on history. It's not infinite. The only one who has survived has been Coinbase, with still soundness, right? Kraken, of course, is still around, but Kraken just kind of keeps getting their hole dug deeper. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You have to find it yourself, brother. Brian, 5 months. He says, I am a lurker. Brian, thank you. Welcome out of the shadows. Miles says, outside of XRP, ADA, and ETH, what has the most upside? Give me the coin that's going to do the biggest moonshot. I'm not going to give you a trade call, buddy. You'll have to do your own research on all that. I give you all the tools, man. You can find that stuff, right? So what do you want? Here you go, guys. I got the next Dogecoin for you. You ready? Do your own research. Worth a try. Yeah. The problem is, Miles, what you're doing though is you're going to actually listen to that. If you're going to find people who are on YouTube and on Twitter who are essentially showing you a coin, and your conviction on that coin will be nothing. You'll have zero conviction on it whatsoever. It's just some influencer told you it was going to be the next big thing, right? And that when that thing pulls down 20%, you're going to go screaming to that influencer, dude, is this thing okay? Holy cow, is this coin okay? But you've done no research on any of it. So there's things you can look at, right? You can look at percentage drawdowns, you can look at developer data, you can look at inflation and circulating supply, stuff like that, to see, who had the higher statistical probabilities of survival and highest probabilities of thrival. Thrival, that's a new word. We're keeping it. But, there's also a difference between what influencers do. Influencers a lot of times pick the $100 million market cap coins. They go ahead and enter in positions, and then they tell you all what the coin is. And then you think that they're a really good person at picking coins, but what they're doing is they're strategically getting their audience to pump the coin. So I could make myself look like a genius and tell you, hey, this coin, and then you watch it pump 200% over the next day and you think I'm a genius. But what I've done is I've essentially gotten you guys to put a bunch of liquidity into the coin and pump it for me. And then what's going to happen next? It's going to crash. That happens very, very, very often. And so you just got to be real careful and going around and trying to get influencers to give you the coins to pick. And we should all know that by now. But when new people enter into the market, they don't know that. They think that influencers have these large followings and they got there because they know what they're doing. And they have the biggest trust that that's not going on. But it's absolutely going on. People are entering into leverage positions and then tell their audience about coins. And then they let their audience pump it for them. So be careful. Super Chad says, do you have 100% of your crypto on a cold wallet? I keep it in very separate places. But no, 100% of it is not on cold storage. But I also keep it in several cold storage devices and wallets. So it's not all in one place. Aldi Stokes asked if I can look at CFX. It's ranked number 70. I'm not going to be pulling up altcoins right now, guys, to go through altcoin research, looking at altcoin charts right now. We're actually going through the wrap up of this thing. I'm at the final super chat here. Long time delayed lurker from PDude215, who's a member for 5 months. We have several people come out who have been members for multiple months and just say they're lurkers, but you're sitting there supporting on the sideline, man. Thank you. Guys, we're here. We've made it. We're at the end. Stop, lurk, and listen. I like it, ZXRP. All right. There we go, guys. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Let's try, as I see you off to a wonderful day, I must give you insanity.
It is Wednesday, my
There we go. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Another successful Wednesday is in the books. Fortunately, we have some green over there in the crypto market, and we are seeing things start to pop their way up as we would have hoped to see as we have reached that level over here on the Bitcoin price chart where we did do that in 2020. And fortunately, we are seeing those things start to happen here in the altcoin market right now as the day gets going. And we got a little bit of green over there in the stock market. And we got some nice breaks happening over here in the altcoin market at the exact same time. I want to thank you all so much for your support and for watching in here. Again, you guys could check out this stuff. Check out bcbacker.com to get a bunch of videos from me and just enjoy the silky smooth voice all day long. If you'd like to enjoy Markets in the Morning as a podcast, hey, why not enjoy 11 more hours of it as well over here? You can, of course, check out my, if you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, you get access to all the old ones too. And these are all audio voiced over. So I do read all of them as well. So again, you're sitting at your computer or your work swinging your hammer, you pop in the headphones. Listen to the silky smooth voice read you a wonderful, delicious newsletter as well. Last 3 of them have really been focused on altcoins. It's not what the whole newsletter is typically like, but we've been on this kind of series right now as we are in this kind of phase of the altcoin market where it seems like, hey, now's the time to kind of start figuring out, what do you have that's trash? What do you have that's gold? And that's been kind of the thing I've been trying to dissect from 2021. Otherwise, guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, lurkers, for coming out of the shadows today and saying hello. Thank you. And I wish that you guys have a very fantastic day, and I will catch you all tomorrow. That's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like the live stream and give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice, and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.